And welcome back, and we are now at part 3 of this week's new comics, bitches! So, starting right in here, Avengers 1959, number 4 out of 5. So this has got one issue to go. And I feel like this book, it started with all this promise, but it's become, this particular issue just became, to me, and some of the last issue too, got really mired down in really dialogue intensive scenes. And it's dialogue that was like, what's going on here? You know, I mean, it's exciting seeing these people in action, seeing them relate to one another, and some of the, some of what they bring to the table here. And of course, it's Howard Chaykin, so the art is always going to be gorgeous. And there's just there's some stuff. There's a lot of seems to be a lot of exposition, and we've got again interesting, but it's like, okay, let's move it along here. Come on, let's pick it up. And of course I appreciate that Chaykin has a story to tell, and it just seems like it's starting to go in another direction, at least until the end of the issue, and that's where it kind of picks back up. It's like, okay, it's on, motherfucker. So that's so it just overall, it just kind of left me feeling kind of bored up until the end. I'm like, yeah, it's like, okay, this is whatever, and there's this, and there's that, and here's Dominic Fortune and Namora breaking into a place, and here's this weird wheelchair guy with this weird kind of cybernetic whatever, this, weaponized wheelchair, and, your Sabretooth, and it's great. It just didn't, it seemed to lack the really cool character of what's made this book so good. So it's about a 2.5 out of 5. It just left me cold. Another kind of letdown of the week another kind of letdown of the week was American Vampire, number 21, the finale of Beast in the Cave. And it's not so much, I mean, it's certainly not that it's bad. This issue seemed very anticlimactic. And now I believe that's sort of the point, but it doesn't mean that it had to be anticlimactic. There could have been something more involving going on here. And there's obviously something to learning about, Skinner Sweet, when he was still human. But I think that the book itself, it shifted focus to the wrong areas. Because you have this, you have some interesting things, with Corporal Book going on here. And then you have the Beast, Hole in the Sky, and, so I mean, there's still interesting and cool stuff going on here, and there's and the art by Jordi Burnett is terrific. I love it, and the confrontation between the two vampires. I guess because the previous issue really focused a lot on the vampiress, whatever we want to call her. And that was a really fascinating tale. And I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know more about her. I mean, we kind of knew all that we had to, but I guess I'd found her so kind of compelling and naked that I wanted to learn more about her. So, I miss Raphael Albuquerque's art, but I certainly wouldn't say that Jordy Burnett is a poor replacement for that, at least for this series, at least for this arc. It's still extremely well done. It's, beautiful to look at. It's still a very intelligent read. But overall, it just felt like I was like, huh, really? That's kind of the way they're going with this. And the ending itself, kind of left me. It's like I was a little kind of, head scratchy. And it's like, what did I just read? I'm not sure what this ending is supposed to really signify. So I don't know. So I mean, it's a 3, and it's a solid, it's a solid 3, maybe 3.5 out of 5. But again, it just kind of left me just feeling a little bit let down. I guess. I guess because I hold Scott Snyder to a different standard than I would probably most of your other kind of average comic book writers. That I expect something spectacular all the time from him. So I think that's unfair. So for a Scott Snyder book, it's about a 3. But for a regular book, it's probably still about a 4. So okay, Deathstroke number 4. There's some personal history in this book that I'm not very familiar with, as far as like these family ties and exactly who his as far as who Ravager is, and the mystery of what was in the case that Deathstroke ripped off in the first one. And we've got some other history here between Deathstroke and a member of the Blackhawks, and it's just Kristoff meets a rather unexpected and particularly unpleasant end. This issue is pretty par for the course, though. I mean, as far as it being okay, it's cool, it's badass, so on and so forth. But I think that the addition of this son, this character of Ravager, Grant Wilson, I'm assuming, is going to be much better for this comic in the long run, because being par for the course is still good, and Kyle Higgins is very smart about the way that he plays it, and Joe Bennett does some really, really good art. But just having it being okay, well, I'm Deathstroke, I'm going to kill this person in a way that no one's ever killed anybody before, and that's it. So we start to kind of start to see hints of I think what the book needs overall is that we need something personal. We need to get personally invested into this character, because it's always cool to see a bad guy who can really kick ass and take names, and we don't have to worry about we get to watch a bad guy do bad things, and that can be more interesting sometimes than watching a good guy do good things. People, some people root for the bad guy, and that's cool with me. Secret Six, one of my favorite books. They're all bad guys, and they all do bad things. But sometimes they do good things, but for the wrong reasons, or they do the right, they do the wrong thing for the right reason, or whatever, that kind of shit. Because this, just this kind of whole ultimate badass thing that they're putting together, they've been putting together with him is just getting a little bit stale, it's starting to wear on me. So I want something more personal that Deathstroke can really get invested in, so that the book can start taking a little bit of a new direction. So it's about a 3, 3.5 out of 5 at best. Because, like I said, it's just kind of more of the same. Okay, so got another kind of disappointment of the week, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 9, Number 4. I felt that there's some interesting tales to tell here, but I don't really know what's going on with this character that's able to steal the, able to, take away the curse of being a vampire. And, it has to do with destroying the seed and everything like that. And, there's some moments here with Spike and, Spike, kind of, still kind of wanting to be Buffy's guy, but, he recognizes that she wants something a little bit more normal, even though I don't think that she could take, that even she couldn't really handle just having a normal relationship, because she thought she had one with Riley back in the TV show, and that went, and ultimately he turned out to be, just a, kind of a wimpier version of her. And not character-wise, but as far as, strength-wise, that he also hunted, vampires too. And so, I mean, it's still, it's still witty, it's still entertaining, but at the same time, I was like, really? I mean, this is kind of what we've been building up to, because this is the end of the first arc here. I don't really know where it's going from here. It doesn't really say at the end, because it usually says, okay, well, this is, what we're going to see next time. There's going to be this, these people, and so on and so forth. It didn't really say that, but, yeah, this issue of Buffy just kind of was like, meh. It's interesting, and it's kind of fun, and, Andrew Chambliss, I don't really know if he's the guy, because I'm not really that familiar with any of his stuff. He's just not really a guy that I think really has a good grip on Buffy and the supporting cast, and does but doesn't. So all in all, it's like it started off really good, and then it just kind of wore itself down over time. So again, this is about a 3 out of 5. Georges Giante's his art is great as always. Love seeing his art. Love that he's been working on this comic forever. So anyway, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our picks of the week. So stay tuned.